answer. Because you are that, you are capable. You are gifted, and you are soon to be opinionated. It's okay to be different. And it's so okay to just be. The world awaits to receive you.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Blessings, blessings. Welcome to the Sense and Enlightenment Talk family. This is an improv live today. We're just chilling. Hope you guys having a great Tuesday. So my timeline was full with some stuff. So I said, let's go live today and do a little creeping. So this is actually the second live that I did in regards to Henyard's twin brother. Now, you guys know we've been wrapped up in Dolton and Thornton, but there's been a lot going on in Harvey. And this man right here, he looked like his eyes. He's been acting like his eyes. Evil. Okay? So first, we're going to give a shout out to Ryan. Ryan is one of the residents out there in Harvey who really been trying to push this situation, getting eyes and ears open to what's going on. If you don't know who Ryan is, let me just show you real quick, because this happened. Hold on, let me just make sure. All right, this one, because this happened a couple of months ago, and I forgot what was going on with Henyard, but Henyard outshined them and did something crazy. So this was the chaotic Harvey meeting about 10 months ago, I believe. Yeah, this is what it. This is Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. I see you. I hear you. You pushing.
We first showed you this exclusive video last night. A man taken out of a chaotic city council meeting in handcuffs. It happened in South Suburban Harvey.
Only on to tonight, that man shared his side of the story with our Charlie DeMar. He's live in the newsroom for us right now. Charlie?
Joe and Erica, and tonight we have that man's cell phone video, his perspective of the entire incident, and he claims there is no...
Well, let's pause since this is an informal live, and I don't really have, like, how I be doing presentations. I do have stuff to show you, but I'm not uptight tonight trying to get stuff out. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate everyone who comes in and definitely support me and give me a super chat. You guys know y'all haven't sent. Every penny, quarter counts. Y'all know I'm going through a transition, and I appreciate you guys. And we still give 10% to Alexis Wilson, whatever we make here. So thank you. We'll be making our donation this Friday. So thank you, Mike. Now let's get back to this, because my man Ryan, he be fighting for his life.
No reason that he was placed in handcuffs. Just minutes into a Harvey City Council meeting Thursday,
Come on, get those cameras out.
Ryan Sinwelski was taken away in handcuffs, cited for disorderly conduct. After he was released, he shared these pictures of his wrists.
Grabbed my neck, which you saw in the video, like extremely aggressively. And they were just super rough with my hands, way rougher than they needed to be.
Sinwelski was standing and recording the meeting on his cell phone. This is his video.
Right.
He could be heard commenting and reacting to parts of the meeting.
The next item on the agenda is
Boo.
That's when Sinwelski says,
And all of a sudden, I just felt this.
He said, boo.
This police presence out of nowhere.
Harvey police officers approach and ask him to leave.
They're trying to make me, they're trying to kick me out of the meeting right now.
There is nothing wrong with your recording, but please come forward. So you will be removed.
Nothing said out of order, nothing, no profanity, nothing rude. This is pure intimidation.
You know what? We don't have to do this. Remove it, please.
How dare you? I didn't want to just go out quietly because it's like, hey, I'm not doing anything wrong or illegal. There's no reason for you to remove me out of this meeting other than you don't like me.
What's going on?
Sinwelski says he believes he was targeted for participating in and documenting a rally earlier this week opposing Mayor Clark's policy of collecting fees from businesses with delinquent property tax bills.
It shouldn't have to take people getting arrested, myself getting arrested to get attention.
We asked Mayor Clark about the incident.
I told him that filming was permissible, but he needed to come to order. he did not come to order.
Mayor Clark loves to tell people they're out of order. He tells it to everybody. Basically, it just means, I don't like what you have to say, shut up.
And today, Ryan filed a complaint against those officers who detained him. He says he was in custody for a few hours before he was released with that citation. We are live tonight in the control room. I'm Charlie.
I wonder what happened with this situation, because this was about 10 months ago. And I know they were saying that he was giving out $500 fines for disorderly conduct. So basically, what you heard Ryan say was boo. And that caused him to get a $500 fine, I assume. And that is, I mean, we did it live on this before. That's worse than Hindered ever done, and him like just getting people locked up. I complain about Dolton police all the time, but in the meetings, they wasn't as active and like the Harvey police. The Harvey police, man, he grabbed his neck so hard. I just felt bad for Ryan. Felt bad for him. Now, this is Harvey. Now, remember, guys, if y'all not from this area, South Suburbs, this falls under Dolton Township. We already know Dolton Township is just services, but this is all in the same area. They're all pretty much connected. And then you know that Fitzgerald and this guy's connected. We're gonna talk about it. What? We got our eye on Harvey. I still got my big billboard and the connect. No, it's not a billboard. It's a box I showed y'all with all the names, and I just keep adding who connected. So the longer I pay attention, the more we're gonna find out. You know what I think should happen before I show this, because this was about the businesses, if y'all don't remember, that I really think it should be a whole federal investigation of the South Suburbs. Okay. I don't know if I shared it on the community page on YouTube, but I shared it. You know, corruption's been going on in Illinois, Chicago, and all this area for a long time. It was like a 1990 federal investigation, and it was terrible. A wife got killed. The police covered it up. The sergeant. It was a lot going on. It was a strip club involved, and it was funny because I was looking into this, and there's a strip club involved, but I'm not showing it in this one. But it was some strip club involved with a mayor, his brother, all in this most recently. So I'm saying this because people believe that it was just Hindered. That's why when everything was said and done and Hindered was just out, I'm like, fuck it, she out. She out of politics. I don't care about it. We got to pay attention to what's next, the corruption. The corruption runs deep as all heck. So right here, this video is when basically Clark tried to strong arm the businesses for money. Now you're going to hear how he say it and what the businesses say. What's the issue about this taxes? One person is calling it taxes and one person is calling it fines.
Mayor today has no new taxes. It's pretty difficult to assess exactly how much of the tax bill that the residents are getting right now that he actually has control over. The mayor calling this press conference this morning in response to pushback from businesses in Harvey over the last month or so. There was an initiative here in the city to collect delinquent taxes from those businesses, and that has stirred them up. The mayor says 465 businesses in Harvey owe millions in back taxes to the city. He says the city of Harvey is currently facing a
and you see this picture. I put I took it off the community page, but I saw this content creator. The reason why I didn't show it, I didn't share it because everybody a little weird. Every time you share something, they think you connected. So he did a drive-through, and I started looking through his page, and it looks like people may be controversy with him. So I just took it off my page, but he did a great drive-through through Dolton, and Dolton doesn't look as terrible as what people may think. It's small. It has a lot of alleys. It reminds me of some of the towns out here, but there are a good amount of properties that are in bad condition. There's a good amount of buildings that supposed to be businesses that are abandoned, and that is even worse in Harvey. It's worse than Harvey because we're gonna watch. Okay, when I go up there, We're going to be driving through Harvey. But I've seen some pictures. I've seen some things. And it looks like Clark been doing them dirty for a while. Because he's been in there for a long time.
$149 million budget deficit. It is important to collect those back taxes, he says, instead of asking the residents in Harvey to make up the difference. He points to the recent property tax bills going out in Cook County this week, which have a significant increase in taxes owed by homeowners. Much of that is because of the assessed value of those properties going up significantly this year. The mayor says he wants to form a coalition of local municipalities, especially in the south and west suburbs, to push back on how much residents are being asked to pay.
Everyone knows we need the money, but at the same time, we're willing to make the sacrifice and basically enact those austerity measures, which we think we can do safely and responsibly to still serve our residents, but at the same time, remember, this breaks their back. The residents come first. Government doesn't come first.
Let's stop right here because we're going to follow up that statement with what he had did. He did two things, and this is why I say that he's Henry 2.0. If you don't remember, he did the same cinder block thing. You remember when she had blocked off the car show? He did it with the businesses.
Cement barricades are being used to close businesses that are refusing to pay huge fines to reinstate their licenses. All of it happening because the businesses are delinquent on county property taxes. Now a federal lawsuit is calling it a scheme and extortion. And they even locked it?
Yes, this is their lock and their chain.
A chain and giant cement blocks placed here by the City of Harvey are stopping Benicia Gonzalez from operating her auto shop. The blocks were placed in front of her business and others because those businesses are refusing to pay an annual fine of $20,000 for a one-year business license, which is usually around $250.
Okay, don't that sound very different than what the heck Clark said? I was like, okay, they got to pay their taxes. They're back taxes. They're back because they're not paying this. Did you hear what the fine was? Look at that. He a little opposite of here. She giving tax breaks to businesses. This jigger said $20,000. And he said, they say usually the renewal is $250. Okay, let's go.
One-year business license, which is usually around.
I'm laughing because I'm hurt. This is ridiculous. Honestly, I'm not laughing at you, Harvey, but we're gonna have to make the people aware of what's going on. We're gonna help you out, okay? Because, yeah, he just got back into office again.
$250. The businesses were denied business licenses and told to pay those fines because they are delinquent on their Cook County property taxes.
Which it's the job of the Cook County treasurer to collect, not the City of Harvey. And so what they're attempting to do is circumvent the statutory scheme just so that they can extort money out of individuals for something that they don't have the power to do.
Attorney Rob Hanlon recently filed a federal lawsuit on behalf of Gonzalez and the other business owners. The lawsuit alleges that the effort from city officials is a scheme to extort money from local businesses. Even if the businesses pay that fine for their licenses, that money does not go towards their property taxes.
It's unconstitutional because it's deprivation of the rights of each of those businesses.
The City of Harvey says it strongly refutes the claims, saying they're erroneous and baseless, and that the city upholds transparency, fairness, and the law, adding claims that business license fines and enforcement efforts, including the use of cement barricades, constitute extortion or a scheme are patently false. The city also says it counts on county property taxes to operate, and that when businesses don't pay their fair share, the burden gets shifted to the homeowners who end up having to pay more, adding that hundreds of commercial properties are behind, owing more than $12 million in property taxes.
The small business owner will say, hey, if I have to pay $20,000 to keep my business license, how am I ever going to catch up?
Well, once again, if they had been a good corporate citizen in the first place and did what they were supposed to do, they would have paid their taxes already.
You see how he's switching it up? He's making it seem like they're not paying their taxes, but he literally put a new business fine on them yearly. Now, I'm trying to figure out who are they trustees? They're not called trustees in Harvey. They're called aldermen. And what made me aware of what's going on and pay attention, because one of the aldermen got locked up yesterday. Okay, we're going to get to it. But it does severely remind us of this. We didn't talk about this, but we do got to put our sister on the screen, make sure that everybody know, because I know y'all know that the federal investigation was expanded, and it continues to expand. I think the more they find out and the more connections they see, that's what I say, they're going to get everybody. That's why I ain't biased. I'm just paying attention to how people move, because that's exactly what the Fed's doing. So
Drama in Dolton. We've learned federal agents have issued subpoenas targeting the Village Hall. This comes as Mayor Tiffany Henyard was a no-show at tonight's meeting. Our Jermont Terry is live in Dolton with what it means for the village. Jermont.
Joe, Tiffany Henyard hasn't shown her face in the village trustee meeting since that now infamous brawl at the township. Now, after losing the election in a big way last week, she remains a no-show. This, as federal subpoenas reveal, there's a criminal investigation into Henyard, and her administration is now heading to a grand jury.
Ooh.
Mayor Henyard's still not present, so we will continue with this meeting.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear, that grand jury part. You remember we was talking about the time they subpoenaed her and she was supposed to bring all that information in. Now, that time we had that watch party, I was just hoping that they was going to do so, like she was going to bring information in. We went over to court, the filings or whatever, but she was not indicted. So the only way that Tiffany or anybody's going to be indicted if the grand jury indicts her, and that's based on everything that they have collected. So hopefully they collected a lot and people be going down. So she get possibly indicted. That's what we're looking forward to. Hopefully the other connections that she has to the other mayors and the other people shows his face, because it will one day.
An empty seat Monday night as the village of Dolton holds its first meeting since self-proclaimed super mayor Tiffany Henyard had a super loss on election night.
Let's move forward. Put this behind us. Let law enforcement take care of that business. That is not our place right now, and we don't have the means to really deal with all these legal issues.
And the legal process continues. Last week, when Dolton voters headed to the polls, federal prosecutors came to the village hall and served these papers. It's a subpoena to testify before a grand jury. It's dated February 25th, 2025. The subpoena wants all emails, phone calls, text messages, and any other means of communications for property in Dolton where the owners could not get a license to operate, and much more.
With the subpoenas, we know there's going to be more to come with other businesses, other vendors.
The subpoenas.
I got the paper for Dolton and how many businesses they gave licenses. They gave me like a 150-page document. And the reason why I didn't go over it, because it was a lot of replicas the way they did it. I didn't like the way it looked, but we have that information. They gave some licenses out. So maybe I need to dig through that one day and we could deep dive, because I got it sitting right on my computer. The feds went right there and got it too. Let's go.
It's requesting the village turn over all documents, including employment records for all code inspectors, ranging from January 2014 to the present date. The federal documents are.
I got that too, y'all. We're going to be going live on Thursday. Just, you know what? I didn't watch this video. We're watching it together. Today I had a long day. I was just studying today. So I was like, let's just go live and just watch this. And then we're going to actually watch portions of Harvey meeting. And you're going to see how we get deja vu. But I got that too. Thursday, what we're going to be doing is, I was waiting for one more thing to come in about basically my deep dive into Henyard's housing and roofing program. So you know that involves Krigley and her. And you know I'm still on Krigley's ass. Yes. So just look forward to Thursday, because we got that too, dog. Now let me find out, Feds. I'm working with y'all on the low and didn't even know. We're on the same page. So Thursday we're gonna be going over that. Okay. Turn your notifications on. I was just holding out because I got a good amount of information. But with the Kim Alliston, they had said that she didn't work as an inspector, and didn't send me a list of all the inspectors, and her name was all over the damn thing. So I emailed them back and I said, hey, because I didn't respond at first because I knew it. And I sent back what they sent me. And I was like, well, this is the lady who I was asking for. Could you give me the information? So we waiting for that. One more piece, okay? So please turn your notification on for Thursday. I ain't forget about Dolton, but I ain't watched this, y'all. We on the same page, Fez. Let's go.
Clear. This subpoena seeks records pursuant to an official criminal investigation.
Definitely going to comply with everything that they're asking for here.
Oh, Trustee Tammy Brown is not seeking real.
What's messing with? They probably think I'm the Feds. They like, how she doing this shit? She got to be the Feds. I'm sorry, I just thought about that. I know they back there, the Freedom of Information Request Office, because I just sent them like 4 or 5 more. I won't send so much bulk next time. Okay, I'm talking to the Freedom of Information Officer in Dolton. I try to take my time, but I hit them like pow, 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 pow. She probably think I'm the Feds. Good, because we getting the information out to you guys and them. Thank you, Dolton, because they are working to be transparent. I'm going to give you that.
Election.
There's a problem here.
She tells me while Henyard will not remain mayor, the fallout of her behavior continues to be felt. Still dealing with what?
With problems that Mayor Henyard created. And that is going to be maybe the next 2 or 3 or 4 years. We got a long road ahead of us. A lot to work with, a lot to deal with that Mayor Henyard created this monster.
Yep. I will say that, but I can't totally agree with it because what we're talking about is the South Side today. It's the whole South Side. Before we get into Clark locking up the older man, he be talking out of 2 sides of his mouth, and it's just weird because I was like, all right, he's trying to wean out corruption. Well, I'll save that just before this. But hold on one second. We have him trying to wean out corruption, but then y'all remember he does this to the residents. You remember how he said the residents is first? We just got to remind y'all, this shit was terrible. But nobody really found this as terrible. Tiffany, a motherfucker, she had moldy apartment rent, an apartment for the renters, didn't pay her rent, messed around with the money. I think the same thing he doing, because we're about to show you today. I think that's why all the women got locked up. That's why I'm like, wait a minute, because she talking. Okay? But this is what he did to the residents. He boarded the place up. That's fine. But he boarded the place up with the residents inside. And
frightening situation in South Suburban Harvey. Some residents there are still living in boarded up apartments, even after concerns over unfit living conditions and ongoing crime have come to light. CBS 2's Sharday Gray is digging in to find the owner of the property, who they hired, and how exactly this all happened.
The city confirms a letter was sent to the owners of this property to notify their tenants they have to be out by a certain day. But some tenants say they didn't get that letter.
But it's the letter.
The letter that the property manager was supposed to notify all of their tenants to leave by December 29th.
But they didn't give us the letter. They put the letters on certain people's doors. Everybody didn't get no letter.
The letter was sent December 14th by the City of Harvey's Director of Building and Inspectional Services. He confirmed over the phone the letter was sent to the building's property owners because of deteriorated balconies and stairs.
Look at that. Yo, that looked like the projects on Howard Street. If y'all from Jersey, y'all know what I'm talking about. Yo, you know them like 12, they call it the projects because they used to be 12 stories with a whole bunch of heat, elevators never working, pissy hallways, they selling drugs in it. And then in each floor, sometimes they'll have like a bar, like a door like that looks metal that you got to open. If y'all ever been in Brooklyn, they have ones like that. But Jesus, I just caught a flashback, y'all. I be having post-traumatic stress, y'all. I'm always catching the flashback. Hit the like button. I want to get to y'all comments. Let's play this real quick. We just chilling today. Thank you for being here.
The letter goes on to say extensive deterioration could lead to failure with added load of snow. The city's Director of Building and Inspectional Services says ongoing crime on South Halstead Street since October was also a concern, but the city had nothing to do with boarding up residents.
I don't think this is right at all.
Genevieve Tyler has lived in this apartment complex for 4 years. Friday, she was inside her apartment when she heard people outside of her door.
I was at my door. They didn't even knock on the door. They just started boarding up. And once I seen them boarding up, I went out on my balcony right here. And once I walked down the stairs, they just started boarding up all the cribs.
And they boarding these apartments up. Video circulating on social media shows the crews going door to door, plastering the boards on the windows and doors.
They don't care to talk to your property manager. That's all they kept saying.
We reached out to them Saturday. No reply. So we called them again.
We are currently closed. If this is an emergency,
Tyler says her only option is to stay in her cold apartment.
I cried all yesterday.
Wow.
I can't even cry no more. I don't know what to do at this time.
First,
I don't know.
Let me stop. This is ridiculous. First and foremost, this is not livable conditions, period. And I know people are in bad situations, and you hear Clark talking about, oh, we here for the residents. We love the residents. First and foremost, if it was deplorable, that's deplorable conditions. You should have had people went door to door, saw who lives in the house, especially if you knew that they were older people in the house, and see can you get them housing and make sure everybody was notified. But I'm just, I think too much. I'm always trying to come up with some damn idea. I'm supposed to be chilling. And that just hit me like, what the hell is going on? So let's just bring this up to date right now of what made us come on live today. Shout out to Ryan because he's on it. I'm calling Ryan Roman. His name is Sinwelski. I said it right this time. All right, let's put him on the screen. He's been showing a lot about what's been going on in Harvey. He's been trying his best to make a connection between Harvey and Dolton, and I can see why. We'll talk about it. Check this out. And this is all the women. This is what we're going to watch. We're going to watch 30 minutes of this meeting that took place yesterday. And we're going to watch the 30-minute that took place today. Okay. So basically, when I was scrolling, the one that was live today for the budget or whatever, what they do, the monthly budget, I started listening. I was like, oh, snap. That's why they locked her up. Yeah, let's play it. We might see what's going on in Harvey because it's not just a Tiffany Henyard thing. These people are the same. They came from the same cloth.
Hearing done, they don't have votes. Please escort the second ward alderman from the council chambers. Thank you.
Y'all, this Kiana number 2. She reminded me of Kiana standing up for her damn rights. It's like deja vu.
Don't touch her. Leave her alone.
Oh my God.
Wow. We're getting this.
Thank you. So, there was, and there still is, G.
Y'all see that? That's like locking up Kiana. She an alderman. See, I had to try to figure this out too because I was a little confused. I was like, what the alderman? Like a trustee, same thing. So we're gonna see what happened to it because she got updated April 28th. This was yesterday. Mayor Clark has Colby arrested for standing up for her residents.
There was and there is a motion to call the question that was originally called by the third ward alderperson and the fifth ward.
We're gonna stop right here because we're gonna watch what happened. What made him do that? Now, this is one thing that I noticed because when I was watching the meeting, this motherfucker is a dictator. Like, y'all thought that y'all was gonna be in Dolton talking and saying shit? No. Y'all saw what happened to Ryan? First time he just said, what did he say? He said, boo. That's what he said. He said, boo. And Lord, you saw what happened to him. So this is her, Miss Colby. And this is an update. Colby is free. This was 19 hours ago. Harvey police finally released her and her mother. Oh my God. I'm laughing because tragic situations make me chuckle. I know it's inappropriate, but as a nurse, I couldn't act up. I had to kind of make a joke around the people, like my coworkers, make everybody calm and we stay focused. So I'm not laughing because it's good, but this is fucked. This is fucked. Okay. Colby is free. Harvey police finally released her and her mother after their senseless arrest at tonight's Harvey City Council meeting. Mayor Clark and his aldermen should just resign now. This is crazy. This city will never make progress with them in control. So nobody really paid attention to this, but I'll be watching everything. So I was like, damn. One, she reminded me of Kiana. And then I'm like, all right, is this the same shit? Because we seeing deja vu. We seeing a lot of deja vu. All right, we're gonna go into this. Can I show y'all one more deja vu? Y'all gonna see why Grace Levi brought this up. Because y'all know, but they be like, we just tired of it. We need a break, but it's going on. Look at this shit. They going through the same thing that Dolton going through. So Mayor Clark and his corruption on Harvey City Council wanted to increase our water bills. Dun, 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 dun. I can't even say it right because this is a whole like area thing. It's that whole area. It's not just Dolton. This area is not far. Harvey is not far from Dolton. Okay. So basically, we don't even get to see where the water money is going now. Why should we pay you more so you can put an addition on your house? Maybe take more trips to Las Vegas. I'm sorry, I gotta say it like that. Vegas, because somebody snitching. You got Grace Levi about to start snitching on Harvey. Two things that stood out to me. The water bill is an issue and they can't see it. Why nobody Freedom of Information acting Harvey? Are they acting funny? Maybe y'all are and nobody paying attention, but if y'all got some information, start posting in this damn group and I'm going to scoop it up. And if I see something interesting, I'm telling. That's right. I'm snitching. It's crazy because from Jersey, my man from Secaucus, I saw your message. Shout out to you, Mike. You know we don't snitch, but we don't mess with the corrupt law. Like we don't from around. So we snitching. I'm snitching. So let's see what's going on. So basically, it said June 1st, water rates will increase by 4% from $36.51 per 1,000 cubic feet. I don't even know how they do that, which is $4.89 per gallon. Okay, that make a little bit more sense, and that is still expensive. I know they do us by some type of rate. Maybe I got to look at my water bill. When I do a little deep dive into the water bill, I guess when Dolton start talking about it, I look at my water bill and see how they actually charge me, because I'm going to be honest, my water bill been the same for the last 7-8 years, unless I had a little leak. My water bill is always like $75, no more than $80. And then if I have a leak, basically they would let you know, like, hey, your rate is going to, like, something's happening. If you fix this, we won't charge you. And that's what my water company do. So Harvey's having this issue, Dolton having this issue. And it was funny. I saw a comment. Somebody was like, yeah, Tiffany laundering the water money. I'm like, damn, y'all Tiffany doing fucking everything. It ain't nobody else out this bitch. It is. It's a lot of them. I want to say a shout out to everybody in the audience tonight. I love you guys. Shout out to GB. When I say I love you, I really do. I do. I'm weird like that. Laura Reck, shout out to you for being here. I appreciate you and stating the obvious every time. I like you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Who else? Who else is here? Saint Sinner. I'm gonna say both. Saint Sinner. Saint. Miss Saint, hey, beautiful. How are you? Thank you for being here. Now let's get to it because Cynthia Moss. I said it looks like they're getting their orders from some higher up, because no way they can strip people of their rights like this and all acting the same disregarding disrespectful way. Nah, it's a hate snake. Exactly. And it's a whole system. I don't know who in charge at the top. Probably the devil. The devil. I'm sorry. But it's an interwoven system. Tiffany was trained good, and I kept saying she was trained good. Yo, when you watch these old videos, and I know it's a few content creators that's playing them, and then you go back to the Dolton meetings, the same thing that Tiffany went through is the same thing that they did to the mayor before her, Riley Rogers. Same exact thing. They had the same exact fucking arguments. The water bill. It was another thing that they just was talking about again, and I was like, I can't believe I just watched it. When it come back to my head, I'm gonna say something. I was like, yo, this was since Riley Rogers again, and they still talking about this. There's a whole lot of stuff we gotta pay attention. So I think it'd be a whole lot of shucking and jiving to the people, and the people end up falling in love with the movie magic, and then they just be like, don't talk about my person, and then a bunch of corruption happen and shit, and then the money be gone, motherfuckers be suffering, nothing be done, then they right back because it keep happening. I'm just saying. So this is what's going on. Okay, so he's saying this was weird because it says this was 5 years ago, before the other election, before this one, because he just keep getting in and getting in. Y'all got to vote, or y'all got to do away with the process out there because it ain't working. I don't even know how this jigger got back in, but this is what he said. New mayor of Harvey determined to wean out employees that don't exist. I'm quiet because that don't sound familiar. They didn't use those words in Dolton, but they was weaning out people who wasn't supposed to be getting paid. And this is exactly what he's saying that he was doing.
Brad, the new mayor was sworn in just last week, along with several new aldermen. Some got a chance to tour the offices at City Hall and discovered a mess with records.
Wait, I think Kellogg was before him too. Now, y'all remember me bringing up Kellogg's name somewhere with Dolton? I think Kellogg was before him. We'll do more research. We kind of just being nosy right now. I'm being nosy. So I ain't definitive or anything, but I'm thinking Kellogg was before him.
So today, employees had to show proof of identity. Brad, the new mayor, was sworn in just last week, along with several new aldermen. Some got a chance to tour the offices at City Hall and discovered a mess with records. So today, employees had to show proof of identity before receiving their paycheck. One by one, some people made their way into Harvey City Hall Friday to pick up their paycheck in person.
I took in my application and, they looked over my information. I showed them my ID and my check was released to me.
Tyrone Britton works for the city's water department. He says they even gave him a new personnel policy and procedure handbook.
I know it's going in the right direction. I had to prove to get my check, so I got my check, so I'm happy about that.
He understands what the new administration means new changes for his city. Mershant Holbert is ready. He's the new alderman of the 2nd Ward.
There's just a lot of work to be done. It's kind of devastating to see the condition that the city was left in.
The 22-year-old was born and raised in Harvey. He says he's frustrated by the mess left behind by the previous administration, including the disorganization of payroll.
We assume there's some ghost payrolling, and the city finances, as you might know.
They got a name for it, y'all. It's called ghost payrolling. They ain't new to this. They true to this out there on the south side. That ghost payrolling, I never heard about that in my life.
Are real tight nowadays, and one of the ways we're looking at is the salaries and wages, but there was no organizational chart for jobs, nothing left to my knowledge.
So how many people work for the city of Harvey? We asked the alderman.
And I was told over 200, and like I said, I lived here 22 years, and I haven't seen 200 employees. I'm just gonna be quite honest with you.
Tolbert couldn't believe it. For now, he's just waiting for answers from the new mayor of Harvey.
We're just asking the citizens of Harvey just to be patient with us. We are going to get through it all. We need patience. And a new day is coming.
You see my face? Talking about a new day is coming. I don't know that man. I'm not gonna. He a baby. He probably under Christopher Clark, and he telling him what to do. So allegedly, he was winning out corruption, trying to verify who worked for them coming into the new administration. And as you said, they said to fire the old ghost workers and get new ghost workers. That's ridiculous. Thank you, Laura. He said, you only stitch because they be lying. Thank you. That's it. I don't like no damn lies. Just tell the truth. It will set us all free. Now, this was something that I want to follow up on. I'm going to keep my eye on this before we watch these two snippets of the meeting together, y'all. What happened yesterday to find out why they locked her up is something about this budget. Okay. That lady complaining because she didn't get paid. Be something going on. But this is something I want to pay attention to because this was something in a meeting a couple of years ago about Harvey to build a 6 net zero communities hub. I just turned to the side because it made me think of water park, like for real. And I don't know how far this has come along, but I kind of took a sneak peek at some of the meetings, and I don't know how far it is going. So we're gonna keep our eye on this because there was a lot of money sold into this, and this is net zero community. So this is a for-profit, private owner, and they seeded $1.7 million investment. So you know what I say. In our communities, we got to be careful who we bring in because they gentrify us and then take our resources, take the land. We ain't got no damn jobs. Taxes go up. Then we can't live there no more. And that's what I think was happening in Dolton. But we'll move forward. So now, let's watch this movie. Lord, it used to be a movie. What we were watching them during the Dolton meetings. Let's watch this movie together, family, and see what's going on. We're gonna watch the first 30 minutes of the council meeting that Miss Colby got locked up, and her mama must have set it off outside. Oh my God! I know they said something at the end about it. We're gonna have to watch a little bit more. Y'all don't mind, right? It's Tuesday. We had a long day. Let's just watch what's going on out there. Let's give Harvey some light for real. I'm praying for y'all. Let's go. Hold up. One thing I want y'all to know. What's remarkably different from these meetings is that he's so titanical that when they vote, I think they just press a button. Something, because when they vote, it be quiet. And then they be like, pass, don't pass. So don't get confused that it be so quiet. Because I was like, what? Okay. And then when they have a discussion, they talk. So this is the difference. He got this on lock. You see how he's sitting there like he the judge. You saw when Tiffany was in her big brother seat how she was feeling. Yeah. And she let that seat. She did a rap video in it. What did she do it there? She was feeling that seat. She did a whole fucking rap video. Y'all remember? Let's play this. Let's see what's going on.
Your love and your kindness. We thank you, Father, for the patience, God, that you have for us, God. We know we don't do everything right. We're not perfect in all our ways, but you love us anyway. So, Father, we pray that you come in this meeting tonight. Allow your spirit to come in, God. Let us be unified and bless all the endeavors of this city, God. When we're moving forward, keep moving us forward. Bless each and every resident, God, each and every council member, especially the mayor and God, all the residents of the City of Harvey. We give you the praise and glorify you. For it's in the mighty name of Jesus we pray. And all God's people say amen. Amen.
It threw me off. I didn't know what they were saying. It didn't sound like, I was like, what is he saying? Okay, so let's get to it. Now, we're watching out for Miss Colby, Kiana, number 2. And then Ryan is who, y'all? Mr. Roberts, number 2. It's no joke, yo. We're going to find characters that's alike because this shit like deja vu.
Thank you, man. The next is approval of minutes dated 7/2025. That was a special meeting. Chair will entertain a motion to approve. Motion by the third, second by the first. Any debate? Hearing none, you may cast your votes.
I hear that nothing. Now pay attention because it's a little hard to follow at first because I'm like, what is going on here? They get really quiet, oddly quiet, but I think they pressing buttons.
Motion carries. Next item is approval of minutes dated April 14th, 2025. Chair will entertain a motion to approve. Motion by the 6th, second by the 3rd. Is there any debate? Hearing none, and cast your votes.
All right, y'all see her? The Caucasian lady, she pushed her iPad. So I just had to verify that because I said, what the hell going on? So we all know that they are casting votes. And then you're going to hear him say approve, not approve. Now, mind you, the clerk should be talking, but I don't hear the clerk talking. I hear the king talking.
Motion carries. Next item number 7, 7A. Approval of bills dated April 28, 2025. Recommendation from the Finance Committee.
Yes, sir, Mayor, there's a recommendation. We had an opportunity to meet at 6 o'clock today and review bills for April 28th, and we didn't find anything that was out of the ordinary that we normally don't pay every month. So with the committee is making a motion to ratify the bills for April 28th, 2025.
Okay, so we have a motion by the third and second by the 6th. Is there any debate? Hearing none. Okay, there's a motion to call the question. By the third and the is there a second to that?
I'll second.
There's a motion to call the question. Motion by the third and second by the 5th. Okay. Hold on one second.
All right, so basically what happened is they tried to make a vote on the budget. And then they had two that was about to say, okay, let's go. But then she said, can I have a question? And I think that is Miss Colby, because I couldn't see who mouth was moving. So he said, let's make a vote. I think the gentleman with the braids said, I second that. And now he's trying to verify the vote for the question to come in. He's running this meeting. Where is the lawyer, y'all? Y'all tell me, any Harvey residents, if y'all out there, where's the lawyer? Long time. That's her. All right, Miss Colby, aka Kiana. Let's go.
To recognize the second one.
There was a motion to call the question, but after the motion and the second, there's a discussion. There's no discussion offered regarding the bill list.
There's still a motion to call the question. That's not in order.
Okay, are you gonna call for the discussion?
Well, that's why.
Do I gotta break it down? Y'all know what's going on? She started talking. He said, you don't get, basically, you can't talk. You can ask the question because we still in the middle of the motion. So this is what's going on, just a little bit. I'm gonna stop talking so we could just know, because I be kind of lost because it's a little different. We're gonna let this play.
Okay, are you gonna call for the discussion?
Well, that's why we're doing it. That's why we're going with the motion to call the question. So that's what we have to resolve that first.
So wouldn't we do a discussion and then following?
No, motion to
all
call
the
the
to
question.
take our motion?
No.
It goes motion, second, discussion.
It's not a motion to call the question. It's not debate. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a motion to call the question first. There's a motion by the third, second by the 5th. Would you may cast your votes?
That lady didn't vote. We watching. I'm trying to watch you on his side. And I definitely, when we watch the second one, I think this guy, now I'm looking at her. I'm watching who moved for who. Okay. So they trying to she's trying to ask a question. And this is what this motion is about.
Motion carries. So that takes us to the approval of bills, which was a motion by the third and a second by the 6th. Bring us back to that. Okay. Seeing there was a motion to question, there is no debate, so you may cast your votes. Motion carries. Next item is 8, business 8B, new business B1. Motion to approve the release and settlement agreement between Lenise Green versus City of Harvey. This motion authorizes the agreed upon settlement for Lenise Green v. City of Harvey, case number 2024 L00292, claim number 2G93KA28685. There's a motion by the third and a second by the fifth. Is there any debate? Well, it should be. We already discussed this. So, you may cast your votes.
Wait, so you know she had a question and then she couldn't ask no question, right? I don't know. I'm like, because we learned a lot from Dolton about making a motion, somebody second it, and then they do a vote. But damn, you got to make a motion, ask a question. So I don't know if it was like because I thought they passed. Didn't y'all hear that? It sounded like it passed, and then all of a sudden he just moved on. But I'm still catching because I'm trying to, listen to his deep voice and catch what's going on. But you see her head going back and forth. We're going to keep watching her because something is happening here.
Motion carries. Next item, AB2, motion to approve the release and settlement by Phillips v. City of Harvey. Motion authorizes the agreed upon settlement for Phillips v. City of Harvey, case number 2024 L002992, claim number 23G9368288685. There's a motion by the third and second by the first. Is there any debate?
What I'm saying is 2-4. That's 2 settlements he talking about. Y'all didn't catch it. It's if y'all did not catch it. 2. That was 2 settlements he talking about. They moved on from the budget. She didn't get to ask a question, and then they went into 2 settlements.
Hearing none, you may cast your vote. Motion carries. Next item is AB3. Motion to approve the release and settlement between EDT versus City of Harvey. Motion that authorizes the agreed upon settlement for EDT versus City of Harvey on behalf of Harvey Pumping Station, account 900530991. There's a motion from the third.
That's 3 lawsuits, y'all. That's 3. Y'all heard it?
And a second by the first. Any debate? Hearing none, you can cast your votes.
I don't have a vote for the second or the first.
Motion carries. Next item, number 4, the ordinance establishing fees for zoning clearance reviews and property purchase requests. This ordinance amends the Harvey Code of Ordinances to provide an application fee to recoup costs associated with evaluating applications for zoning clearance authorization and property purchase request per letter of intent. There's a motion from the first and the second and the third. Is there any debate?
Yes, motion call the question.
There's a motion on the floor to call
I
the
would
question.
get the motion be postponed indefinitely.
I'm sorry?
She did a motion to call the question, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I move that motion be postponed indefinitely.
Well, that's not a superseding motion to the motion to call the question.
How is it not?
It's not.
I mean, but what factual thing can you refer to tell me that it's not? Because as I'm looking here, according to the Roberts rule, I mean, could we ask for corporate
I
counsel?
would not ask for corporate counsel. I'm the chair and I'm making the decisions here.
So yeah, that's a very good point.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I said, where the lawyer at? The lawyer sitting right there, quiet as hell. Then we just asked, like, wait a minute. She wanted to ask a question. You got to vote to ask a question. And now she like, yo, I got to ask another question. And she just start running it. And he like, you didn't get approved for the question. She like, all right, y'all here? See, this is because the sound is kind of messed up, and they do this on purpose too. They doing what Dolton did. Because when I was watching the live of the audit, or the one they were talking about the finances, it was like doop doop doop. I was the only person on the live, and I made a comment like, whoever's recording, stop messing with the sound, because every time they say numbers, we can't hear it. Okay, I was the only person there. So they moving like how Dolton moving. Y'all remember how we could not hear Dolton meetings? It used to be in and out, like somebody was fucking with the sound. It's the same shit here. So this was going on with her. She's trying to get a question in. Let's finish watch this.
One-sided decision here, because we're not having somebody come in that's non-biased and fact-checked.
Would you like to appeal my decision?
Well, currently we have a motion on the floor.
Well, then we're going to hear the motion.
So it's very unfortunate though that we wouldn't have any discussion. So is it that Alderwoman Smith has been instructed to constantly say, I make a motion to call the question to prohibit me from speaking out on or inquiring? That's the legislative process.
So there's a book called the forum agreement set out and reading again.
For majority votes.
And at the end of the day, it's not personal. It's just operational. There is a motion on the floor.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. He reminded me of Henry. He getting me mad. Yo, and this Kiana, her name is Colby. So y'all get to know Miss Colby because she got locked up for this. Basically doing her job to ask questions. So the way he circumvent the process is to make them vote on if they could ask a question. And she's like, that's not according to Robert rules of law. That's what she said, right? And I don't have that book. But she asked for the lawyer, and the lawyer's still sitting there quiet. Little screwball head. Look at her, just quiet. Look at her face. Ooh, I wish I could zoom in. She got the Belcher face like, I don't know what to play with this shit.
To call the question. Is there a second? So what?
You're speaking out.
Well, yeah, because she's got to put it in. It is.
A second.
There's more.
I believe that probably. I'm gonna look into this Robert Rules of Order and get back into that because we had the PDF from Dolton. I had to look at that type of stuff. But I don't think that the way he's doing things is correct. I don't think that. I don't think they should vote on who can ask a question, because if they don't like the person, they're gonna say no. So I think this was happening.
Motion by the third and the second by the fifth.
Call Kiana. Colby better call Kiana and get fighting. Girl. Looking like a little Dolton. We're gonna watch 12 more minutes of this video, and then we're gonna go to the finance video. But we're getting to the part where she get locked up. It's coming.
Yes. You may cast your votes. Motion carries. That takes us back to number 4, the ordinance establishing fees for zoning plans reviews for property purchase requests.
So I'm putting my head down because what I'm thinking is happening is that the motion go through for whatever they voting on. And she has a question. And instead of him acknowledging the question before the motion go through, He said, you gotta wait. And we still looking at a motion. And then we're gonna look at your motion and answer questions. This is what I think is happening. This is how he's circumventing the process. That ain't right. That's not right. That's not right. My baby not too tight. Right.
You may cast your votes.
My baby ain't happy.
Motion carries.
That is ordinance number 3512.
Thank you. Next item is an ordinance number 5, an ordinance amending Title 3 of the Harvey City of, amending Title 3 of the City of Harvey Municipal Code regarding a gas use tax. This ordinance amends Title 3 of the City of Harvey's Code of Ordinances by revising and recodifying Ordinance 3262 in its entirety to new chapter 3-29 entitled Municipal Gas Use Tax. There is the chairman is making a motion. There's a motion by the third and a second by the sixth. Is there any debate? Hearing none, you may cast your votes.
What is a motion? What is a municipal tax on gas? He said they rewriting it. Is it for the gas that come into the area? I'm trying to think because in Atlanta, in that area, they have in the little circle of Atlanta, they got a little extra like 10% tax on top of the state tax and whatever else you got to pay. Because certain areas can just tax. So I'm thinking, is this what he's talking about? Like it could be extra taxes. I never heard of no shit like that till I got here. I'm going down in Atlanta. I'm eating. I'm chilling. You know, food get taxed. Items get taxed different. And then I see an extra Atlanta tax. I said, what the fuck is? And then you took out 17% or 18% gratuity. Y'all, listen. He doing something weird.
Motion carries. Next item 6.
Wait, can I just pause? Damn it. I gotta get it. Y'all saw her face. Please look at Miss Colby. She tight as hell. She doing a good job. But she tight. She doing all the belcher face. She like lips, everything. But she working through it. I'm not making fun of y'all. Know it's because this jigger is like hindered. He's stressing her the fuck out. He is targeting her like how Hindered targeted Belcher and took her picture down. That's why I keep comparing her. Not because she light skinned, not because she stood up, but I'm just getting deja vu. Watch.
That amends resolutions 3-0. Excuse me. You spoke to your board. Yeah. So I asked if you got this note.
That was ordinance 3513.
Okay, next is a resolution amending the resolution 3096 by the redevelopment agreement J&T Group of Illinois LLC for a comprehensive housing development program, HUD Neighborhood Stabilization Program. This resolution replaces 4 of the 5 city-owned real estate properties listed in Exhibit A and obligates 2 additional real estate properties that the city owns or may own to the developer, known as the J&T Group for redevelopment, per the agreed upon terms of Resolution 3096, approved December 12, 2024. The chair will make a motion to approve.
Y'all see my face. I'm trying to digest it a little bit because it sounds like some developer program for housing, and then they're trying to approve HUD, which is a good thing or not. It depends because there's a lot of government corruption with that too. Around Colby, around Ovid, I be watching everything. It was where was they? They was out here in Georgia, and they had a HUD check fraud, all types of stuff with the PPE. Yeah, they did some bullshit. So I don't know how to take this because I'm still trying to learn about what's going on. You know, control housing can be good, and it's for us. But then sometimes they don't maintain it. It end up turning to the same thing. And then the county is receiving money. And then the residents is not really receiving the housing that they really need. So we don't know. I'm just kind of like, okay, I hear a private developer. I hear something about HUD housing. And, being from Newark, and my Mike, you from Secaucus, you know about them hoods. We be thinking it's all G. But then you hear the plat, 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 glad, glad, glad. It just get a little crazy. So I'm just saying, when it's private investors like us, regular people, not big businesses, we approach things differently. And then they give us different fines, different chances. So I'm just kind of like, all right, what they doing? First, we still waiting for this community center. Look how I'm waiting like I'm from Harvey. We looking forward to this community center. Now you're talking about HUD. All right, let's see how this is going, because Harvey needs some help. But we want to make sure that they ain't selling Harvey out.
Motion by the third and the second by the sixth. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, you can cast your votes. Motion carries.
That is resolution 4004.
4004. Next, item 6.7. Point of order, Mayor. Yes, it recognizes the award.
Thank you, Mayor. You're saying this is 6.7.
Yeah,
This is a continuous, this is a mistake.
no, this is a scribe news error. So that number 6 should be number 7, and our number 7 should be number 8. I'm going to do some remedial classes for staff. So they.
I went to sleep, y'all. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know we just chilling in the lounge tonight. He said he gonna give him some remedial classes. That don't sound like Henyard. This is her fucking, excuse me. He disrespectful. He said, I'm about to give you some remedial classes. Shout out to Best of Us. Thank you for making us aware that this ain't the first time that he's been on Colby. Now we're gonna watch Colby, Miss Colby, aka Belcher number 2, because he is targeting her. And he just basically called him all of them remedial. That sound like a Henyard. All he didn't say is what she say? Let me school y'all. Let me teach. What is her favorite term? Please put it in the chat. I know y'all don't miss it, but I'm waiting for him to say it.
Learn how to count this. This is a scribe news error. So that number 6 should be number 7, and our number 7 should be number 8. I'm going to do some remedial classes for staff. So they can learn how to count this. I don't know what's up with that. We're going to do some alphabets too. But number 7. And I'm just joking, but they know I'm playing with them, and they know who I'm talking about too. Number 7 is a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the county of Cook, on behalf of the Cook County Sheriff's Office in the City of Harvey. This resolution authorizes the Cook County Sheriff's Office to provide 911 dispatching monitoring services to the Harvey Police 24 hours per day, 7 days per week.
That doesn't currently show on our.
I like it.
So when I wrote it in, I wrote 7 as 7, how it appears on our agenda, and skipped one of the 6s. So let me give you 1 minute while I fix that. I can just edit it right here.
Okay.
It was a little typo. Now, why I got excited, Harvey, any county, any whatever, if you have the sheriff office and a popo in the same area, if something happened, you can call the sheriff's office and they are required to do an investigation into the police. Whoop, whoop. Yes, into that situation. When things happen Sometimes they will call the sheriff's office to do an outside investigation, pending that it's not a big, like they have internal affairs or whatever. If they want to start the investigation, like, okay, let's say if it's an officer in their platoon, they will get the sheriff office to look into it. So basically, he's contracting 24/7, 7 days a week for the sheriff office to come in. Sheriff and the police are not the same. They're not fighting. They're not, at war. But the sheriffs, go look them up. They're more honorable and they're more constitutionally inclined than a popo. So this may be a plus for Harvey. So if y'all have access to the sheriff office versus the damn police, call the sheriff office. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I got happy like, oh, get them. That's a check and balance system right there. Because sheriff office, they don't play that stuff. They don't. A lot of them are more honorable than the average police station.
There was 1 second, please. Point of order. Chair recognizes the full board.
In order to be professional, no offense, anybody make mistakes, can we just table this?
That's not a point of order. So, that's out of order.
Well, our order was making a mistake in the first place for the current now.
No, that's not an out of order. That is a scrivener's error. That's what that is.
All right, well, we are professionals in this, so.
Yes, we are.
Making mistakes, so that has to be considered out of order too. If you print something out and it's not correct, that has to be out of order too, right?
Basically, he calling Clark out like, you don't have to say what you just said. He said, "What? Thank you, Christopher. Let me educate you." He basically said, "Oh, we're gonna have to take you to remedial class." And yes, you 100% right. Somebody in the background laughed, so they tried to embarrass him. And do you see what I'm saying? Woo, Clark, you working my nerves. Let's finish. We only doing 25 minutes because she gets locked up in the next 6 minutes.
If it says 6-6 and it should be 6 and 7, it throws the whole confusion on us. So that was considered out of order. So am I wrong for just mentioning that?
Well, you're not wrong for mentioning it, but we've already made that correction.
Okay, fine.
So now he's asking for apology because the lady over there, which is probably the clerk who put it together, she said that something was mixed up. Oh, she got to fix it. And that's why he was looking over like, oh, okay. But he literally disrespected him and won't apologize. And you're 2.0. We got another one. And he just got back in, dog.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. So let me read it again. So resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the County of Cook on behalf of the Cook County Sheriff's Office and the City of Harvey. This resolution authorizes the Cook County Sheriff's Office to provide 911 dispatching monitoring services to the Harvey Police for 24 hours per day, 7 days per week. And to make that clear so that everyone understands, this is so that we can have dispatch when you call 911. So if you call 911 and we don't approve this because we decide to table it or do whatever we're going to do with it, and you call 911 and no one answers, you know why no one's answering. So that's what this particular intergovernmental agreement is about. It's a standard intergovernmental agreement. The only thing that has changed in this particular case is that the contract that we had previously that we took, I think it was 2020, has since expired, and we must decide whether we're going to renew or not. Now, we cannot renew, but understand, you won't have any dispatch, and no one will be picking up the 911. So there's a motion from the first and a second from the third. Is there any debate? Hearing none, you can cast your vote.
What do you want to be reminded about?
I'm not sure.
He good, y'all. Don't think that this work against y'all. Y'all need the sheriff office. And shout out to you, Mike. Thank you. Any donation, like I said, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you guys just chilling with me today because I saw this. I was like, let's just watch this together because some shit going on. Thank you for being part of the Levi family. And opening our eyes to what's going on in Harvey because it's been creeping up. It's the whole South Side suburbs. It should be like a how's that coalition of all South Side suburbs getting together to clean fucking house. Yep. Yep. If y'all look at my board in 6 months, y'all gonna see who connected. I'm working on it, y'all.
If you could give me 1 minute so I could add the number. Yes, that resolution number is 4005.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a resolution approving a redevelopment agreement for Blue Crest Estates LLC. This resolution approves a redevelopment agreement between the City of Harvey and Blue Crest Estates for the purpose of rehabilitating Black property located at 60 East 155th Street, Harvey, Illinois. Chair will entertain a motion to approve. There's a motion by the third and second by the sixth. Is there any debate?
Yes, call the question.
There's a motion to call the question.
This is so, Ms. Allen, unfortunately.
Is there a second?
Ms. Smith had called the question.
Is there, you are out of order. You are out of order.
Ms. Allen. You are out of order.
That's the second time. We are not going to continue to call you out of order. And please do not allow the disruption. We are not going to disrupt this meeting.
Disruptive, Mayor.
Is there a second?
Why are you all moving?
This is the last time I'm going to ask again after that. I'm going to ask for a motion to censure and removal.
That is unfortunate that Ms. Allen can't make a decision.
Here we entertain a motion to censure and remove the second ward alderperson from the meeting.
There's no democracy in that. And the people
we have a motion to censure for the
opportunity for the minority voice.
There's a motion to censure. There's a second.
Ms. Allen, they don't.
Oh, wait, y'all see what's about to pass out again? Okay, y'all see what's about to happen? She couldn't even get a motion in to ask a question, but they're about to motion to get her locked up.
The East 150. Miss that.
Point of order. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Nay. Hearing none, because they don't have votes. Please escort the second ward alderman from the council chambers.
Excuse me, I'm mad. They just sat there and just let some of them didn't vote nothing. Yo, he got them by the balls. Oh, they locking up Miss Colby. You let me know. When did she get locked up before? What video? We're gonna show it again. We're gonna give her some love and support because she getting locked up for the people. Fuck that. She ain't feeding the people. She going to the jail for the people. I'm with her, Colby, because I don't like that shit.
Thank you.
Don't touch my stuff. You should know that from the law.
Don't y'all think I'm getting a little bit aggressive?
Hey!
Oh my God.
Stop.
Why are you putting y'all see this? Get it all on video.
So we see the video in Mr. Ryan's of what was happening to her. We'll put it on the screen how she was being pushed out the door. My head is down because I'm severely disappointed in all these motherfuckers right here sitting here. I hope she is not the only alderman that's asking questions and standing up for y'all right. If y'all not, y'all asked out. Because I thought this brother right here with the blue on, but then I saw him laughing with my man right here. And we're going to watch him in the second video because they had a finance meeting today. In the first 30 minutes, you're going to see some of the discrepancy of what she's talking about. Now, Clark is not in this meeting that we're going to show you next. But I'm alarmed. And then you have her Miss Betty Crockett over here just sitting there like everything is okay. Somebody getting locked up. I'm not okay with nobody getting locked up. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I don't even know this person. That bothered the hell out of me. So this is what's going on in Harvey. Now we saw what took place as far as what was the preemptive situation to get her locked up. And it was literally her trying to ask questions. We showed you how he is circumventing his aldermen from asking questions by making them vote on who can ask questions. Who the fuck does that? So if all those people around don't like her, then it's a problem. Then that's what I'm saying. Then it just doesn't make any sense. So this is weird. Hold on. Was this the one I was watching today? Because she had the same outfit on. But hold on, the one I was watching today that was live. This got to be the video. This was it. This was 3 hours ago. Only got 7 views. So we on it. We on it, y'all. We're going to be talking about Harvey because we're turned up. This is the finance committee meeting that took place 3 hours ago. This is the one that I caught. I was watching and that made me like, hi. So I'm not sure if this happened before because it's looking like the same clothes. But you're going to hear what she's talking about. She's talking about something that happened similar in Dolton where, who was it? Could somebody tell me who it is? Where they had went out on a business meeting and they were talking about a hotel and Hinder didn't want to pay for a certain trustee's hotel because she said it was right down the street. Y'all remember that? I think something similar is going on. Thank you for being here. Thank you for educating us because obviously some of you guys are from the area. Y'all know what's going on. It's a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, this is a little wild. So let's hear her talk about it because she's going to talk about her not getting paid for something. So let's watch this.
This book, Liberty and Justice for All.
Tammy Brown. Yes, it was Tammy Brown who didn't get paid. Thank you. But these the same tactics. Same tactics. This guy right here, watch him. I think this is boy, old school Joe. I don't know these people. We're going to get to know them, but I'm making predictions here. This one is for Clark because you're going to hear what he be saying. A little weird.
This for today's date, April 28th, to discuss. I had an opportunity over the weekend to review some of the line items. There was maybe one or two that stuck out. Maybe you could give us a brief synopsis on what they are. I was looking for our water storm drain truck that the city owns. It's always in the shop for repairs, but we've been leasing one. Okay, do you have any indication on how long hours it's gonna be in the shop for repairs?
And a lot of those, I think we paid off another almost 50,000 to get it out.
To get the hours out.
Yeah.
And what was that dollar amount for to lease?
I think this guy right here is playing the role as Keith Freeman. Okay? Because he be talking about the money and he talk about getting approval or telling what's going to be approved. So I'm thinking he possibly the Keith Freeman in this situation, but let's play it.
50,000, yeah.
No, the company that we use.
The company we use, I know Aries is the last, they back truck. Aries, which is under the sewer department. So we didn't lease one, we just been having an outside service do it.
There's been a lot of residents that seem to be comfortable with when we have a heavy rain, that truck is able to come over in and pump those sewers out. And I don't know, it just kind of makes the problems go away.
I know they ain't talking about the water. This is, you remember when I got annoyed with the grass thing? They talking about the water. It's always flooding out here in these areas. These people You hear them talking about the water bill going up. This a new one for Harvey, but the one I showed you last week was 2015. So we got to listen out for what's going on in Dolton as far as the update that they give us, the trustees and the new mayor, about what's going to be happening with the water department after they do the audit. And I would assume their findings going to be just like 2015, broke pipes, freezing in the winter, because they went through that last winter. I remember broke pipes and flooding in certain places. Harvey is going through the same thing. So they're looking for a truck that does the drainage that's in the damn shop right now. It's two ways to handle this. Either they're going to keep paying for it to get repaired, or they're going to be trying to get a new truck. And you don't want, I don't think you want Clark to be making decisions. It's going to be sounding like Henry, get Enterprise up in there and be selling the cars allegedly. But I'll shut up. I'm still waiting for the proof of that. I'm going to follow up because I haven't followed up on that. But I think I'm going to follow up soon, y'all.
Whether or not we leasing it or we have one.
Yeah.
We had one. I know it was down in repair for a while. Some preventative maintenance issues.
Okay.
So then it is repaired, is what you're saying.
This is
To my knowledge, a question better directed in written second.
okay. Will do.
But I'm not aware of any outstanding obligation at this point.
Special events, the line dance, we pay Deborah Jeffers. Is that a once a month invoice that for the seniors? Do we do that once a month?
I'm not sure how much does. I think we do it weekly.
Y'all heard about it? They about to start talking about the residents' activity and line dancing getting paid for. She about to call some shit out. We gonna get to the climax of this too. She gonna call some shit out before the first meeting.
Yeah.
Should be a series of deals.
There is.
Yeah, no, she does that weekly.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Each one designates a different week.
How often do they have?
Colby shaking in her seat. Y'all watch Colby. Watch. She getting. I can always tell when somebody get antsy. Watch her. Her head gonna go to the side. She gonna start because she getting a little frustrated too. And they talking about paying for line dancing. It came back to me. What the hell you gotta pay for line dancing? The DJ?
Line dancing.
I don't know that. Now that you can direct to Joe Winnington.
Okay.
You know?
I have a question. Sorry.
Same question. It probably goes from our businesses, it's a different location.
No, each one designates a different week.
Yeah, and a different, and a senior. Where we go.
You want to ask Mr. Lewis about that line item with the
Yes, I
police
will.
department,
Yes, I will.
6060?
132, 6060, the, in, what is,
Y'all hearing what's going on? I hope y'all can hear it. I'm breaking it down. I hope they do better sound. Basically, the line dancing is 6 lines of the damn thing. And the guy asking, that's why he was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, why is there so many for this for line dancing? Ooh, sounding like Dolton. Sounding like Thornton and Dolton.
I'm sorry, what is it now?
it's preferred window door in bullet resistant glass.
Yeah, that's for 17,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for windows that got broke out. The crime center, the new crime center with all the merchants back is.
Really?
Yeah.
The building itself?
They broke the glass in the front.
Okay.
New crime center window is broken.
Matter of fact, it's still not repaired. I think that glass is on water.
So they're getting blood from.
Yeah.
It wasn't blood from that property?
Probably not with the bank, I'm not sure. It may have been.
Right. Okay. Then the other one had equipment purchases for $214,000.
That's equipment for the crime center.
What type of equipment?
All type of equipment. all the screens, computers, cameras. Basically, the crime center, again, Chief Biddy gave additional information. Basically, have cameras throughout the city. We'll be able to monitor the crime.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Right. That's what I was about to refer to as this crime center is gonna be like a real time.
Yeah, real-time crime center, yeah.
Real-time crime
So
center.
we'll actually sell the services to businesses and other people
That have Ring doorbells.
that have any type of cameras. We'll be able to monitor the outside.
There, okay.
For instance, Oak Brook Terrace has one of the larger crime centers. And they actually oversee Oak Brook Mall. So if you're out there, you don't see all the police cars, that's because they watching you 24/7.
Yeah, I think City of St. Louis and the City of Gary, Indiana also have.
So when you see.
Y'all see my face? Oh, I'm a little tight because they talking about cameras, $214,000 for a crime center company that they want to contract to get like tech, TV, computers, cameras all around there. He's talking about door cameras. Who door you putting it on, sir? We gotta watch this because y'all know how I feel. A while ago, there was a video created about Delgado and his connection to the speed cameras, and that was something I've been talking about as a problem out here in Georgia. And I think a lot of states we were being over penalized for things that we may have not even done because they had these private companies who have private computers and private scanners. You know, the scanners that's used on the police car. If we go to court with them, they have to show us, you know, was it calibrated, what they did before. Y'all know I'm ready for I fought a case. Yup. I wouldn't look like shit. I wasn't going that miles. Prove it. Talking about we got you clocked. Well, that clock don't work. So I found out the procedures they supposed to do so they could verify that in court. And if it's not done, them circumstantial evidence would make it not valid, that ticket. But with these companies, it's hard to prove that you're going those speeds because I'm gonna give you an example. When I call the court, as soon as I say something about speed zone out here, they be like, "Oh, you have to call speed zone about that." I was like, "No, stop." I went to court before. We went to court for this. I need the court documents of what happened in court. No. Speed zone got it. I said, but it was a judge in your courthouse that I saw. Like, what the? Because I'm trying to report them, and you know, I'm showing the trend. So I need that court case. And they telling me to call speed zone. Speed zone ain't got no damn number. Ain't mandated for freedom of information requests because they're not a fucking government entity. I got the contract from them. The contract is a buffer ass contract. I went deep. Y'all know if I'm gonna hit it, I'm gonna hit it. I said these motherfucking contracts is not even. They're not even regulated. They're not even telling what they have to do to maintain it. They just gave them the right to put their shit out here. So I'm a little like, we had to have that little deep dive in that conversation because I know y'all be getting speeding tickets too, going 35 in a 25, no, going 36 in a 25. You know how many fucking tickets I got for that? I be like, yo, your camera ain't working. This shit ain't calibrated right. How I go 36 and I got a $75 ticket? Y'all, I'm talking as a resident of any city out here. This shit fucked up. Excuse me. This messed up for us. I mean, maybe y'all like them tickets, but this made me scary. But I do know that y'all probably have crime out there because I know Calumet turned up. I do the crip walk, okay? And a lot of that crime, because Calumet, I had saw some videos on Calumet, yo. They get gang. They so gang that they on YouTube doing what like LA do, like arguing with each other and shit, talking about this is my block. Calumet like that, yo. So we got to keep our eyes on that whole area. So they setting up cameras. That's what they moving for. We already see that as a project that they were talking about with HUD. Allegedly, they still waiting for that other project that we talked about 3 years ago. I'm gonna follow up. We got all these big ass plans. I hope you guys are seeing something because this is second round in there. So are y'all seeing some progression, some infrastructure changes out in Harvey? Because he got back in, even though he locking people up. That's weird as hell. but I know not a lot of people showed up. We're gonna probably look at his numbers. I think not a lot of people showed up for this election for him, and they, you know, just the people who just gonna keep voting repetitively voted for him.
People come up, for instance, it's always tied into license plate readers. You see people who are, for instance, it's been great with the schools out there. You get people who are supposed to be near schools for various reasons. When they show up, you're able to see that plate, send someone out.
Yeah, here's that sewer jet truck that cost $20,000.
What?
Is that under the public works?
It's under outside services, that's under sewer, public works there. Under public works.
I want to hear her talk. And she have to say something.
Yeah, $20,300. Yeah.
That's every should be on sewer line.
Yeah, because I don't see it, that's not.
Should be on sewer line.
So these are at the end of business, under general funds, road funds, sewer funds, water funds, grants and capital projects.
That's
These are
the totals.
These are what we
The total,
Yeah.
totals of the bids.
Yes, sir. Officer, do you have any further questions for Mr. Lewis?
No. Those are two major ones.
Alderwoman Chapman, since you're here in attendance, do you have any questions?
I'll let the treasurer go, she had a previous question, she wanted to go with her now.
Now this is her talking. This is Miss Chapman, and this is Miss Colby. Colby Chapman, I think that's her name. Now listen what she talk about.
All right, so I guess with the,
I think her name Chapman. Excuse me if I got that wrong. Colby about to come up because Colby gonna be asking for her money soon.
line dancing, the weekly, they keep showing up, which we understand they're providing a service for the seniors. But, for the date range that this seems to be excessive for this to be weekly. It would be helpful if you put like the date for the invoice. I don't know if she gives invoices or how.
Yeah, she gives invoices. I was under the impression they did put date strips in them. Well, I'll tell her to clarify that. Sometimes they don't submit the invoices. So we put the invoices in through receipt.
Okay. So I think her name is Chapman because she said that I forwarded a question to her. And I think they asking about that line dancing that we mentioned is coming up on the invoice too much. Somebody laundering money. Allegedly.
Treasurer Perry, you got anything else?
No, that was it.
Alderwoman Chapman, you got something?
Mr. Williams, this is probably one of the most consistent statements I've had since approval of my reimbursement back in July 2020. And when I go across the field, I see reimbursements for you, and I've seen reimbursements for Alderman Rogers, I've seen reimbursements for Alderwoman Smith. No, and I haven't returned it. Right, they misclassified it, and then when they reclassified it after my point out, that was when you get a mailer, and the mailer was underneath the city, but it was supposed to be underneath. Right, so maybe they reimbursed it because they paid for it, but nonetheless, what could I do at this point to get some intel, some insight? You know, this is like similar to, but I don't get any interest collected on mine, right? Similar to like the audit that we just got on behalf of the notice office that's, you know, costing us X amount of dollars. But it behooves me how we can pay out to all the various folks from line dancing to your reimbursements and Mr. Whittington for senior services to the alder persons. I'm the only alder person out of 6 that has not been reimbursed the entirety since May 8th of 2023. And I've researched the home rule law. There's no law that prohibits the mayor from withholding my funds for the ward. These aren't personal expenses. When I looked over people's personal expenses, they have the cleaners on their gas. Mine is strictly all aldermanic expenses. So I'm just trying to figure out what's a means to an end, because that is an allocated. When we go into 2023's, when we go into that audit process with Kaspersky, those are the things that you're going to be detailing and looking at how the funds allocated.
Okay, thank you. He's scared me. My son came in. I'm telling you, I'm over here having a little bitch fit. 2 things. Remarkably familiar. She's not getting paid or reimbursed for what she's supposed to get reimbursed for. Line items that are coming up repeatedly on there online, and she's asking these questions. That's probably why he didn't want her to talk. This had to happen before she got cased up. This is ridiculous. So she want her money. Let's finish listening, okay? We almost done. We're not watching the whole thing. I just want to try to get an idea of what happened, what's going on in Harvey, how we don't need to ignore it, and how the South Suburbs the whole system is corrupted. And y'all have to wean out all of the players.
These were additional funds. How would they have been allocated or where? If my funds were reallocated, to support some specific thing here in the city that is needed, it's like, I can hear that, but to hear nothing, at this point, we're coming up now in 2 days, this is the end of our 23-24 fiscal year. So just trying to understand before the next 2 days, what could be a word of advice? So Chairman, do you have a word of advice regarding this or any insight?
Well, the question is a valid question. I don't think that Mr. Lewis Williams is going to be able to shed any light on why you haven't been reimbursed for your automatic expense. That's something.
Get your check. Just out of curiosity, if I can.
Well, the last time I got one was months ago, and it was in my mailbox.
Right, but did you disperse that check?
I make recommendations on who gets paid.
Well, no, it would be a recommendation.
No, I make recommendations on who gets paid, and administration makes the decision on who's.
That's what I was about to say. You might want to have some dialogue with somebody from the mayor's office, or maybe the mayor.
I had a running dialogue. You're CC'd on it on some previous emails that I sent at that time, and you're definitely CC'd on everything. And when you say you make a recommendation, how is a recommendation made on something that's already allocated annually?
That's the Keith Freeman right there. And then she said, I already CC all y'all. Why y'all trying to act like y'all don't know about this? I like her. I
recommended it be paid, and they decided they're gonna pay it. When I got presented with a checklist of potential disbursements, say these are the bills I decide to pay, they decide who they're gonna pay and not gonna.
And so, had you made a recommendation on my behalf for the second ward reimbursement for the second ward?
Yes, I have. Of course I have.
Okay, so thank you for shedding light on that you did make that recommendation. When we last spoke, it was regarding, you said the taxes, the taxes.
Yeah, no, you said Terry Alderman, Alderman Rogers, when he submits bills, sometimes I said, gotta wait till these taxes come in, gotta wait that comes in.
You mean sometimes, all the time. Maybe wait all the time.
Yeah,
I just thought to add, my only other thing is, I thought that this admin would be underneath mayoral expenses was, because the question, I had the same question about CDW, but you answered that, so thank you. The membership to the African American Mayors Association, I would just think that would be categorized underneath mayor, not Department 102 admin, since that's something specific to the mayor. But that was my only other concern.
All right, well, thanks for your questions. And is there a recommendation to accept the bills list as As is, let's signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it, so we will ratify this bills list with the rest of the city council meeting.
I put my head down. So it looks like all of them line dancing entries gonna get paid. She brung it up. The person said it's a little weird. I don't know if they pulled it off. Then she brings up that she's not getting paid or reimbursement since 2023 from the activities that she did under the cloak of alderman. I am a little entertained and a little appalled because it looks like the South Suburbs, again, is giving us something to talk about. This is exactly what brought us here today. Two people I want to give a shout out to, and that is Mr. Ryan Roman, also Miss Colby, because Ryan and Miss Colby obviously got locked up more than once behind this titanical mare, and nobody's stopping him. Like, nobody's calling it out. So it's time. Let's watch what happened to Miss Colby, and I'm just going to give y'all my closing statements, okay? And if there's anything insignificant in the audience y'all want me to see, I'll put it on the screen. And I want to say thank you for being with me today. This was like, let's do it. I appreciate you guys.
Hearing done, they don't have votes. Please escort the second ward from the council chambers. Thank you. Don't touch my stuff. Hey!
Don't touch her. Leave her alone. Wow. We're getting this.
Thank you. So, there was, and there still is.
I wish we went outside to see what happened. So basically, what we just watched, the financial meeting took place before this happened. She called out a few things that I think probably made Clark not happy. The same thing that's going on in Harvey is the same thing that was going on in Dolton. I think they're taking the play from the same book, and we have to keep our eyes on the prize. I will say this. I know Dolton residents got a lot to deal with, but I really do think that you guys need to unite with the surrounding towns, because your politicians are switching sweet seats between these surrounding towns. So if you don't unite like Voltron, as residents from these different surrounding towns, Harvey, Calumet, Dixmoor, all of them, because as you hear us talk, we're connecting these people. Dixmoor is Fitzgerald. And we do in the next week or so. I'm working on something. I'm working on some tips. But Dixmoor is in a really messed up position as far as what's going on inside of their police department. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about some other corruption that may be going on in Dixmoor, because it may be some money laundering. I'm saying it like that, like that's a good thing to say, but honestly, we're getting leads about this. So as soon as I can pull the content or the paperwork that's facts, I can bring it to you. But I'm hearing a lot buzzing in the background because they know I know numbers, and they know I know how to freedom of information request. So what we're going to do is keep our eyes on Harvey. I ain't going to jump down the Yellow Brick Road and start doing freedom of information requests, but I will look at that lawsuit that Harvey had against the businesses so I could verify what was happening with that. We'll check into that. And also, we're going to get into, as I told you, Thursday. I'm waiting for one more thing to come in. Even if it does not, throw your notifications on. We're going to be getting into the housing and roofing program in Dolton, dog. I got the facts, got the layout. I'm just waiting for a little bit more. I'm trying to expose Kim. I'm trying to expose Krigley, possibly Hunt. This may not include Hunt, but let's see, because I'm still trying to find the angle on Hunt. I'm trying to find the angle, because when you make these freedom of information requests, you just can't go from he said, she said, he said, she said. You got to go from a certain point where you know they're connected and what they did. So I need to make a connection. If anybody knows something funny on Hunt or what programs he actually did and certain things, y'all let me know so I could get that going. So Thursday, turn on your notification. Thank you for being here with Grace Levi. I was a little bored after studying. We're going to do a chit chat probably on tomorrow morning, so I can give y'all an update on what's going on with the Alexis Wilson case. Gonna have a lawsuit, dog, as well as we got a little bit juicy information that we're going to share with you guys, because we are going after Officer Carlton, and we are going to expose Officer S. Hobson. If you did anything, girl, I'm going to tell, because you should have intervened to save my baby. Let's put it on the screen, dog. I know somebody ain't happy about hearing about that, but I'm not about to play. I came here to slay justice for Alexis, and that's all I care about.
I'm Cara Wilson. I'm the mother of Alexis Wilson, killed by Dolton, Illinois police. At the time that my daughter was killed, Tiffany stood in front of a microphone much like this and said that she stood with the cops, and they did do the right thing by killing my 19-year-old child. Not only did she not take those words back, she didn't offer her condolences. She's never said anything. The first thing she did was hire this group of security guards to surround her and PR. So the real reason Tiffany has security is hiding from accountability about what she said about Alexis Wilson when she was killed. Now, if you watch the coverage of this murder, these officers violated her rights, reached in her car, jumped in her car, and put 7 bullets in my child, 2 in her head and 5 down her side. And the next day, you guys tried to spin it like she did something. Watch the video. She did nothing to deserve this. And again, last time they brought up Alexis, she's doing what she does now. Look this way, look that way, every way, but at the person talking. You don't give a damn, and you never did, and you never acted like it. She called out a whole press conference to call my daughter a criminal, and Homewood Flossmoor graduate with no criminal record. But Tiffany, you have one, because we used your mugshot to protest in front of your house. And that's why you hid. That's why you have security. So let's tell the truth, which I know you're incapable of. I wouldn't trust this woman if she stood on a stack of Bibles and had her tongue notarized. Not a damn thing she says comes out her mouth is true.